Hey guys, so I am going to be talking to you about the mechanism of action of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So we all feel unhappy, sad, or moody from time to time, and this is a normal part of life. However, at these times, the support of family and friends can usually lift our mood. We can also carry on and go to school or work and socialise with our friends, even though we might not feel like it. But people with major depression, like Jack over here, experience feelings of intense sadness for long periods of time and often without any reasoning. They can find it hard to function from day to day and may be reluctant in participating in daily activities that they would normally enjoy. Now, there are many factors that have been found to influence or trigger the onset of depression. However, a very common one is biologically and often involving the role of neurotransmitters. Depleted amounts of certain neurotransmitters that transmit information between neurons in the brain, such as serotonin and noradrenaline, have been found to influence our mood and therefore affect depression. However, in this video, we will just be focusing on the effect of serotonin on depression. Also called 5-HT, serotonin is believed to be involved in a wide range of psychological activities such as sleep, wakefulness, dreaming, eating, and overall happiness. Now, Jack over here has low levels of serotonin within his brain. Therefore, this can be associated with him feeling quite sad, anxious, and even worthlessness. And no amount of family and friends are able to change the way Jack feels. Lucky for Jack, he has the opportunity to take antidepressants, which are designed to relieve his symptoms of depression. Now, if we take a look at how this all works with someone who doesn't have depression, we can compare this to someone who does, like Jack. This here is a presynaptic neuron, and this over here is a postsynaptic neuron. Now, this gap between the two neurons is known as a synapse. Now, as a nerve impulse is travelling down the axon terminal to the nerve ending of this presynaptic neuron, it will trigger the release of serotonin via the use of neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters found at the nerve endings will release serotonin into the synapse. Now, once serotonin is floating around within this synapse, it will either bind to serotonin receptors on the postsynaptic neuron, or some of it can get reabsorbed by serotonin reuptake transporters, which are on the surface of the presynaptic neuron. Now, when enough serotonin is received by the postsynaptic neuron, the message can then move forward and create its positive effects on Jack's mood. Now, in people who do have depression, such as Jack, too little serotonin is available to be released and received by the postsynaptic neuron. This can interfere with the message being sent and quite often results in symptoms of depression. Now, there are many different types of antidepressants, and they can be organised into classes depending on the severity of the depressive state of the individual. The most commonly prescribed antidepressants are known as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or shortly known as SSRIs. The reason they are called reuptake inhibitors is all within its name. Basically, the main effect is to reduce or block the reabsorption or reuptake of serotonin by the presynaptic neuron. So if we have a look at one here, the SSRI will travel to the synapse between these neurons, and it will attach, or in other words, bind itself to these serotonin reuptake transporters on the surface of the presynaptic neuron, and essentially it will block the serotonin from being sucked back up into that presynaptic neuron. By doing this, serotonin levels within the synapse will increase, leaving more serotonin free to stimulate the receptors on the postsynaptic neuron, and furthermore will leave Jack feeling happy and improving his overall mood. Thanks to these SSRIs, the symptoms that he once felt from suffering from the depression are now relieved, and he can now get pleasure out of all the activities that he once felt like he couldn't do before.